What is up, space gamers and everyone in between? I'm Astro Nesto, your bumbling space captain in this safe space for bad gameplay, bad roleplay, and general shenanigans. Hope everybody had a good Monday and start of the week. Hope you're enjoying IAE2952 as well. You can live vicariously through my bumbling episodes here as we explore the hall and see what's going on for what is now Alien Day, I believe, at IAE2952. Are they calling it Alien Day or Xeno Day? I'm not sure what the preferred term is, but anyway, for a game that doesn't have any actual aliens in the game quite yet, we're going to talk about the ships that they fly. And I can see you guys are already talking about the fact that we need more aliens. Actually, I think it'd be kind of cool to actually be an alien. Who knows? At some point, I hope they'll add that in there. I know they're saying they won't. But anyway, it's going to be Alien Day at the Convention Center. I'm going to make my way over there. Alien Day means that the exotic ships will be out on display and that dreaded alien tax. And we'll get into all that. But first, I need an update on my man, Jax McCleary. As we do every day with the convention. So let's see what trouble Jax has gotten into today. Oh, forgot my sound. Whitley's action.
It finally happened. I got hit with one of those famous pyro solar flares, and the cutter has frankly, well, not been herself. But by good fortune of the Banu god of backwaters, I found this marketplace. Ah, my good man. Do you happen to have a power coupling for a... Ooh.
You still hanging out with the pirates?
Are those Vandal parts? Now, tell me, are those Esperia replicas, or, are they the real deal?
You like to walk on the wild side, man? I can dig it. I can assure you these parts... Whoa. Are you recording this, man?
Oh, no, it's not what you think.
Whoa, not cool, man. Whoa, not cool.
But I'm super cool.
Whoa.
It's okay, I'm cool.
Oh boy.
Cool.
I don't know where this storyline is going. I'm not even sure. I mean, while I do enjoy the whole pirate theme that we've been going with IAE2952, I would like to see Jax back to his normal stuff where he's actually hosting the show and going through the conference hall. So let's see if he makes his way back to Stanton. I'm not too sure that's going to happen at this point. But we'll have to see. If not, I hope they bring back Pirate Bob. Really liking her character. I'm all on board with Pirate Bob and the Pyro Pirates. They can make that a whole show as far as I'm concerned. Alright, here we are. Alien Day, Xeno Day, Exotic Day, whatever the correct way is saying today is. Here we are at IAE, and it looks like we've got a good lineup here. As a matter of fact, this looks like it's all the ships, so this should be a pretty fast night for us. Where should we start out with? So let's see, the Banu Defender is probably one of the best medium fighters in the game, bar none. Even though it is an alien ship, right? And it's a pretty unique design as well, too. Well, first off, I like to call it the space crab. I think it kind of resembles a crab, more or less. And even those arms kind of like extend back and forth crab-like, so that's really cool to see in flight. If you didn't get a chance to fly this one yet, I definitely recommend that you rent it. It's also got the best quantum effect in the game, very psychedelic. So I like it for that. Of course, that's subjective, but trust me, I wouldn't steer you wrong. It's the best one. Anyway, it's got a pretty unique interior in here. It's actually got 2 beds, so for a fighter, that's pretty cool, right, for your crew. There's a pilot and a navigator. I can't recall if you can fly this. I think you can fly it on either side. It doesn't matter. And I believe there's an in-lore reason for that. Yeah. Let's see. I don't have the notes on that. But I know that in lore, basically the whole deal with the Banu is that they basically take technology that they encounter from all the different races that they run into, and they basically take the best stuff and throw it into their ships. So this ship is basically a hybrid of a lot of different technologies. It's got Xeon thrusters because they're supposed to be the best with with maneuverability. It has, sorry, I'm saying hit scan, but they're, I think, tachyon blasters. I forget what they call them exactly, but anyway, the deal is that they're supposed to be faster than light, so as soon as you squeeze the trigger, it's supposed to hit the target. I wish I could remember what the official name of these blasters are. I personally don't like them too much. I think I would swap them out because I think it's a little janky the way that it's implemented right now, but that's just me. You guys can fight me on that. Yeah, basically it's supposed to be a super fighter because it's got, you know, the best of human, Xeon, and Banu technology in it. That's its deal, and it also looks pretty sexy to me. Looks like a space hot rod if you ask me when you're flying it. As far as the weapons go, you got 4 size 3 gimbal mounts, 4 stock size 2 cannons. It's got 2 size 3 missiles, which really aren't the greatest, but I mean, it's there. It's not too bad. And we already talked about the tachyon cannons. So all in all, I think as far as alien ships go, this one is high on my list because it's a 2-seater. It's got the beds for logging in and out. So even if you don't want to run combat missions, you can still do like delivery missions and that sort of stuff with this ship. So a lot of versatility there, and it just happens to be one of the best medium fighters right now. Unless they do something to tweak the stats yet again, but I don't think they will. Like the Asperia Glaive here. This one I have never had the opportunity to fly, so if anybody has flown it, let me know what your experience is with it. I know it's supposed to be a beast. You know, it's supposed to like have some really heavy arms on it. I believe like size 5 or 4 weapons on the arms here. So it's supposed to pound really hard. Also, I'm one of the best medium fighters, I believe, out of the alien lineup. Anybody who's a PvPer, you can tell me how well it stacks up in every other category. See, I should actually rent it. It'll probably be my only chance to fly it. These things, I guess in lore, I believe the wings also kind of have like blade characteristics to them to help them slice off wings and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool in a Vandal or, you know, just a ruthless race. They had humanity on the ropes for a long period of time. And I like the way the ship looks. It looks kind of like it's got that alien organic look to it, but it's also got sort of like hot rod colors to it, so I think it is pretty cool. I wish I had more information on this one, but maybe we'll find out when we actually fly it. Alright, the Asperia Talon. These are really cool. I guess you would call them light fighters, but they kind of pack a decent punch. It comes in 2 variants, the Shrike and, well, the Talon. That's a Talon. I believe this is the Shrike. The Shrike is basically a missile boat. So if you like hitting all your targets with missiles, then this would be the one for you. It's kind of a hit and run bird. And the Talon's also the same kind of deal. It's got 2 size 3 cannons, upgradable to 4s on gimbals, 2 size 3 missile racks with 8 missile capacity. So if you ask me, this is the one to get over the Shrike, just because, I mean, well, the Shrike's got, you know, 2 size 4 missiles with 24 missile capacity, which is just overwhelming. It just really depends on your gameplay, but I think, like, I feel like I would stay in a fight longer with pew-pews over the missiles, because after you've unloaded all the missiles, then you gotta go reload them, right? So that's just me. That's my take on it. It really just depends on your playstyle, but as far as the maneuverability, these guys are superior. They are replicas of the Tavarian ships, and, you know, obviously since the Tavarans are bird-like creatures, supposedly they maneuver pretty well. They fly pretty well. And I believe that these were supposed to be escort fighters for the Prowler, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. Alright, moving along, the Khartu-al. I've always been really hard on the Khartu-al. Well, I think it's a really cool looking ship, and it's definitely got one of the best transforming animations. It's pretty fast and maneuverable, but I always found the durability to be a problem with this light fighter, in my opinion. Now, I know that they've done some stuff, they tweaked the stats, but I don't know. Maybe I should rent this one as well, too, and see if it changes my mind, but I don't really enjoy flying Khartu-als in the battle. But maybe that could just be because I'm not really great at combat. But it does have not only some of the best animations, like you can see getting into the cockpit here is really cool. The cockpit design is very cool, and the visibility is pretty awesome. And I kind of like the look of it. I mean, it looks like an insect. It seems like whenever we talk about aliens in sci-fi, they always have to resemble some sort of organic creature or something like that. Why can't aliens have more of a metallic and, I don't know, sleek look like humans do? But anyway, here you've got these controllers, which are, I don't know, they're kind of like, they remind me of trackballs. But visibility's pretty good. Maybe I'll rent this one, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't last very long. The other reason why I don't like this ship that much is that I used to always get the nose stuck on something and it would snap off on me. But again, personal preferences. Don't let me sway you. You guys should try to fly this on your own and form your own opinion. Especially during the free fly week, where you can fly any ship for free. As we have here. The Asperia Blade. If you guys don't know, Asperia basically, they build replica ships of these alien ships, so these aren't not the original alien ships. I think some of these ships you couldn't even find anymore. So, kind of interesting you're paying alien tax for something that's a replica, but anyway, the Blade is supposed to be also had a rework recently, so it's one of the best light fighters in the game. That's right, Mythic. Alien ships are nice, and they look pretty cool. But they do have some of the best maneuverability in the game, too, so if you do decide to buy an alien ship, you're kind of getting that. One of the things I like about the Blade, it's got one of the coolest entryways into the ship, and you're actually kind of like laying down as you fly this one. Let's see if we can actually get into this one. Entering the pilot seat here. As far as the weapons go, you got 2 size 3 cannons though, 2 size 2 pew-pews, and 2 size 3 missile racks. So it's not too bad as far as how well it's armed. And the maneuverability is like off the charts. So I'm not sure how PvPers would feel about this one. I enjoy flying Blade a lot though. The problem is, if you do buy it though, you are going to pay that alien tax, but it's got a very, like, alien skier look and feel to it. It's just a real sexy beast. Obviously the lighter fighter in the Van Duel fleet, whereas you've got the Glaive that does more of the heavier punching. Let's face it, if you had a hangar and you were buying an alien ship, your alien ship would be like, you know, it'd be like an exotic sports car is to us today, right? It'd be like that nice centerpiece that you have in your hangar, where you're basically going, oh yeah, this is my Blade over here. Speaking of practicality and expense, this might be a good segue to go into the Prowler. Also from Asperia. Yeah, they are nice futuristic rides, that's right, sir. So, the Prowler here is a dropship. When it first came out, it was pretty maneuverable. I mean, these things were a lot of fun to fly, and I think it was probably too overpowered. I think they've tweaked it down a little bit, but my main problem with this, and I just don't like drop ships in general because I just don't feel like the gameplay is there. But this one in particular, I find to be completely useless. Because, like, let's say you get a Valkyrie, right? You can at least put a rock in it or some ground vehicles in the back and take it out. This, however, this is purely just a troop transport. It looks pretty cool. It's got a really cool commercial. See all those bird guys, you know, going crazy as they're going to get dropped. But as far as an everyday daily driver, I just don't see myself getting a lot of mileage out of this one. And it would be okay if it was priced, you know, a little bit more reasonably than it is, and we'll get into the cost towards the end of the show, but this is a ship I just kind of stay away from, and I think it looks really cool. When it's flying, it's got nice transforming wings, all that stuff. Let's see if we can get into the cockpit here. There's the co-pilot seat. Where's the pilot? Forgot if there is a I thought there was a second floor, maybe. It's been a while. This is kind of cool because when you power it on, like, the cockpit does this thing, the blade does the same thing too, where all this shielding disappears and you can actually see outside. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, it's a modernized version of the Tavaran dropship. 2 size 4 cannons, upgradable to 5s. If memory serves me correct. And there's 1 size 5 turret with 2 size 3 cannons. So it is decently armed. I mean, don't get me wrong. And it looks pretty cool. But, I don't know. Definitely something I would wait and earn in game. Because I think it's way too overpriced for what it actually is. Yep, I agree with you, sir, and it would be more functional as a school bus. It is, that's basically what a dropship is, just a fancy school bus. Although, even a Cutlass Steel, I think, has more seats than this. I think the Steel can carry 18 people in the back. This I'm not sure how many it can carry, but we looked back there and it didn't look like it had 18 seats. I just think if I'm going to get a dropship, it's got to be the Valkyrie. I wouldn't get the Hoplite or anything else, but the Valkyrie. But it is a pretty cool looking ship. It is a sexy beast, as I like to say. These are hatches? Oh, it's probably for the bird guys to jump out. Really cool commercial, though. I should have prepared all the Alien commercials so we could check those out as we were looking at these. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of neat. I don't know, I suppose if you have an org, and maybe you're a mercenary org, this might be of interest to you, but I don't know, just get a Valkyrie. Oh, the Nox bikes. So these are the only alien ground vehicles that we have right now. Being a hover bike, they should be able to fly in space too. I don't like flying in space though with my hover bikes. These are pretty slick looking bikes though, I will say. I don't know what happened to, there used to be 2 variants of the Noxes. Because I remember when they first came out, I bought like 1 of each. I don't think they sell the Nox Q anymore. For whatever reason. I don't know if it was a limited edition thing. If anybody knows, let me know in chat. But hover bikes, you know, it's kind of hit or miss to me as far as the handling goes, but the concept's pretty cool. And I think they're going to tweak these a little bit more. Let's see, is there any other information about a Nox that is worth talking about? Not really. I mean, they're polo bikes. That's about all I know. They are pretty cool though, and I think if racing gets developed a little bit more, these bikes will probably be a little bit more useful. Let's see what we're talking about in concepts. Alright, so these are the Railens, which are going to be the alien cargo ships that are coming out. These are going to be like your blockade runners. super fast, well armed. Oh well, when I produce the video, I'll flash it on the screen later on. But I believe it's somewhere around 300 SCUs of cargo. If you get a chance, check out the interior that they're working on with this ship. Really cool stuff. It's kind of like, how do I explain it? It's kind of like a luxury hotel on the inside. So as well as being a good cargo ship, it looks like it's going to be somewhat of a decent touring ship as well too, for passenger gameplay when that comes into the game. Which is kind of funny because we were talking about the school bus thing. There are going to be ships like the Genesis Starliner that are going to be for transporting NPCs around in, I forget what they call those missions, passenger missions. Similar to what Elite Dangerous has going on. Except, you know, since it's Star Citizen, you would actually see the passengers. But anyway, this is a cargo ship first and foremost. I believe it's got some sort of tractor beam technology, so those like triangular things in the back, I think, are the cargo pods that it can load on and off. I actually did a good video on a Railen. I'll link it later on. That kind of goes into everything here. Since cargo hauling is what I think I want to do in a verse, I'm very interested in this one when it comes out. And I'll have to check on the price point a little bit later on to see if it still makes sense. Anyway, that's that. Let's move along here. Oh boy. Alright. This is you know, it's a good and sad story. This is the Banu Merchantman that we're looking at here. It is going to be the alien capital ship. It started out as kind of like a traveling bazaar, but it looks like it's going to really be a challenger to the 890 junk when it comes out. And they've actually redesigned it, so it actually looks different and sleeker than the original model did. This is another good, interesting ship to look at. However, as they started adding on a lot more, the price has gone up quite a bit, so we'll have to talk about whether that's still a good deal or not. But really what the sad news is that I keep on hearing that they've actually shelved this ship, which to me was like massively disappointing, because I think they spent a lot of time last year talking about how they're redesigning it and they're really close to putting it out. But I think they found out that they had some issues with putting it out. I don't know for sure because I can't seem to find anything officially on it. But everybody seems to be talking about the fact that they shelved it, it's going to be delayed, and we don't know when it's going to come out. So that to me was just like, you know, it was a downer. That plus the 600i rework. I mean, this and the 600i have been kind of disappointing me because those were ships that I thought were closer to being released than they actually are. So, oh well, what are you going to do? Anyway, moving along. Let's see what else we got here. Oh wow, this is the santok.yāi. I've never actually seen the models of the santok.yāi before. I think this is the first time I'm seeing it in holo form. I could be wrong. But anyway, these are going to be the alien heavy fighters. So just like how we were talking about the Vanguards with Aegis last night, I guess this is going to be the alien equivalent of that. These ships are supposed to be really fast and super maneuverable. It's going to be pretty well armed. 4 size 3 laser repeaters. We know the laser repeaters are OP right now. 4 size 3 missile racks and 8 size 2 missile racks. This should be a pretty scary fighter when it comes out. I'm actually really looking forward to this one, and I think it's going to be worth it. Even though I'm not too happy with the Khartu-al, I think that if you're going to get an alien fighter, this may be the one to have. Right now it's the Banu Defender, but this one could easily take over. Maybe it's a good idea to try and get it now while it's in concept, if you must buy an alien ship, instead of earning it in game. Alright. Let's see, Best and Bad Buys. Let's kick it off with a POA, shall we? So I usually like to find at least one ship that I recommend buying in a show. We failed on Origin Day. I didn't recommend anything. And that was mainly the fault of the cutter. Let's see if we can find a good value in Alien Day here. Khartu-al at 170. Now we got to keep in mind that with an alien ship, we're going to be paying the alien tax, right? So let's keep that in mind as we try to find a good buy here. So Khartu-al at 170. I'm not a fan of this ship, and it's a fighter, and I think you can buy it in game. So I'm going to call it a bad buy for now. See if you guys can change my mind on that one. But I think you're better served earning that one in game. Alright, the Nox. I'm not sure if you can buy this one in game. I didn't actually look that one up, but it's a ground vehicle. Ground vehicles are kind of niche. You're not going to get that much mileage out of them. They're just kind of like something cool to do when you're bored, right? So at $45, I don't think it's a good deal, even though I like this bike a lot. It's probably like in my top 2 bikes, but I'm going to call it a bad buy. All right, moving along. What do we have? The santok.yāi at $220. Actually, I got to think about this one because I'm pretty sure as this one gets closer to being released, it's going to go up in price, right? And again, we got to, it is overpriced at $220. Let's be honest, right? But if we're talking about alien tax, kind of tough on this one. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to call it an okay buy for the whales out there. Normal people, let's say it's a bad buy. But if you're a whale, let's give it an okay buy. Just because I want to be nice to a ship. And I do think when this comes out later on, you're probably never going to see it at this price again. So this is basically just for your whale collectors out there. All right, so that covers a POA. I'm not sure I feel totally good about giving that an okay buy, but it's too late. I already did it, so we're going to stick with it. All right, let's talk about Banu. All right, again, at $220 for Banu Defender. I actually do like this ship, though. And you're going to pay an alien tax for any ship. If there is a ship to buy that's flyable today, this is the best value out there. So I can't say it's a good buy because it's overpriced, but I'll say it's an okay buy. Okay. So maybe if you saved up your pennies and you really wanted to treat yourself, I think this one's going to be an okay buy. But you can buy it in game, so keep that in mind. So if you don't want to spend $220 on a digital ship, don't worry. Have no fear. Just get a good starter ship, like, I don't know, the Cutter. All right, moving along. Banu Merchantman is $650 right now. Oh my gosh, this is a bad buy. We're gonna all right. Let me think about that a little bit harder. I'm gonna say it's a bad buy at this price, and only because, like, I got mine around $300. I think $330. But it wasn't everything that it is now back then. Like, they've redesigned it, they made the ship a lot better, so that's why it's gonna creep up in price close to where the 890 jump is. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is like $900, $1,000, who knows, by the time it's finally released. So I mean, I guess if you're looking at it from that aspect and you want to jump in on it, you should go for it. But I think just knowing where it was, you could get this for like $200 when it was first debuted, I think. So seeing it at $650 is kind of hard to swallow for a ship that's not even out there yet. So I'm gonna have to stick with it at a bad buy. I think this was a great buy before, but I think that window is closed. I think it's kind of going up. And, it's okay too, because let's face it, we need to have goals in the game, right? Something to build up to and something to work up to. And starting out with a merchantman, maybe that's not the best thing to do in the world. And anyway, the other reason why I'm not really too high on recommending buying this is because since supposedly it's shelved, I mean, who knows when it's going to come out, right? So I don't know. Well, it looks like those are our 2 entries from Banu. Let me know if I got it wrong. Let's talk about Asperia. Asperia next. I just like saying Asperia. And we're going to kick it off with the blade here at $275. Yeah, I mean, again, this is the alien tax striking us again. For a ship that is basically, it's a light fighter, right? So it's in the class of an Arrow or a Gladius. I think it's better than those, where it's at right now. But 275, I mean, it's just a bad buy. I mean, it is what it is, right? But, however, if you did buy it just because you are a collector, you're a whale collector, and you want to have this in your hangar, I mean, I'm not hating on you. It's you know, I may have done the same thing, but you know, but realistically, in my mind, logically, I'm like, no, this is, even with the alien tax, it's a bad deal. All right, Glaive at 350. I don't think you can buy this though. Am I wrong? I'm gonna click on view offers just to check it out. Experience space combat, whatever. Like every day there's a limited sale. And if you could buy this one, I think this was a limited sale, but I will say for the last 2 years, I've tried to look at possibly buying this one, and it's never, I never get the link to buy it. So I don't know what's going on with that. It looks like it, and I know that it used to be for sale because I have seen some players with it. So I know you can get them on the gray market. So I don't know what's going on. It says game mode exclusive, so honestly don't know what that means. But I do know that 350 I can't recommend any fighter, so that one is going to get a bad buy. However, I hope to fly it later on today because I did rent it. Alright, the Prowler. Before I even looked at the price, I was down on the ship. I've looked at the price, I'm even more down on the ship. $440 for what Saren called a school bus. Yeah, it's just not a good deal. You know, it is a good combat ship, don't get me wrong, but come on, it's a drop ship, it can't carry any vehicles. $440, I want a little bit more value for that. And like I said, I think Valkyrie is like more than $100 less, I believe. So I could be wrong, we'll talk about that on Anvil Bit Day, but I know it is cheaper and you'll get a lot more use out of that Valkyrie. That Valkyrie can store like 4 rocks in it, you know, so if you don't want to go into battle, you can use it for other stuff, logistical stuff. You can't do that with a Prowler. Alright, anyway, talking about the Talon at 115. It is overpriced for what it is, but as a light fighter goes, it's not bad. It's actually kind of cool to fly around in, so again, for those alien collectors out there, I mean, I hate to say that, it's technically a bad buy, it really is, but I'm feeling generous today. I'll say it's okay. But it's really one of these. But alien tax, so we'll say it's okay. Alright, Talon Shrike, the missile boat at 115. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not really high on missile gameplay. So I'm going to give that a no. The only reason why I'm saying that this one is okay is because I do think you get a little bit more mileage out of it and you can stay in the fight longer. And the maneuverability on these are pretty cool. But technically both of these are bad buys, but I'm feeling generous. Alright, so that covers Asperia. Let's talk about Gaddick. All Gaddick has is the Railen. Let's see how much the Railen's going for right now. $225. Again, this is a ship that is going to go up in price. I think for all the haulers out there, there is some value in this one. I like the ship. I'm going to say it's okay. Only because I know with the alien tax, it's going to go up a little bit more. But, technically at 225, I mean, that's out of reach for most people, and you should be spending that kind of money on a starship. But if you really want to, if you just can't be patient enough to earn it in game, I'll say it's okay to where it's at today. If it goes up even $1 more next year, I'm gonna call it a bad buy. But today, you guys caught me on a good day. I'm feeling generous, so I'm gonna say okay. I don't know. I think aliens are cool. The concept is pretty cool. I don't like the alien tax, though. I really don't. I feel like we deserve better than that. But if they give me that alien starter ship that I'm asking for, that I really want to see in the game, then I might change my mind. I might be okay with it. It happened. Oh, anyway, yeah, folks, it is late for me on the Western United States, so I'm going to have to wrap it up. But please come join us again tomorrow for another day at IAE2952. You can see our misadventures just trying to get around a conference hall or blowing up randomly in space.
Or in hospitals.
Wherever you are out there, wear your helmets, be safe, and we'll see you next time.
Whee!
07.
Good night, everybody.